DuPont, Chemours settle NJ PFAS claims for $875 million. New Jersey secures over $2 billion in total PFAS-related settlements as DuPont and affiliates agree to pay $875 million and fund long-term site remediation. In a landmark environmental enforcement action, DuPont de Nemours, Inc., the Chemours Company, and Corteva, Inc. have agreed to pay $875 million and undertake extensive remediation to resolve claims of PFAS and legacy chemical contamination at 4 industrial sites across New Jersey. The judicial consent order, dated August 3, 2025, outlines specific financial and site-based obligations and marks the largest environmental settlement ever achieved by a single U.S. state. PFAS are particularly insidious. These dangerous chemicals build up and accumulate everywhere, and New Jersey has some of the highest levels of PFAS in the country, said Attorney General Matthew J. Platkin. This resolution holds corporate polluters accountable. The agreement follows trial proceedings in federal court and comes amid growing litigation across the U.S. over PFAS, often referred to as forever chemicals, due to their persistence in the environment and links to serious health effects. Largest state-level PFAS settlement in U.S. history. The $875 million settlement is part of more than $2 billion in total PFAS-related recoveries by the state of New Jersey since 2019. This includes recent settlements with 3M, Solvay, and Arkema over similar contamination issues. This landmark settlement will advance New Jersey's nation-leading PFAS abatement efforts, improve drinking water quality, and restore injured natural resources, said DEP Commissioner Sean M. LaTourette. The funds will support both natural resource restoration and PFAS abatement projects, including drinking water treatment for impacted communities. Key terms of the judicial consent order: $875 million will be paid in 25 annual installments, with the first due no earlier than January 31, 2026. Approximately $125 million of the total addresses costs, penalties, and punitive damages. The remainder will be deposited in a dedicated state trust for PFAS abatement and natural resource restoration. $16.5 million is specifically allocated to address statewide natural resource damages not tied to the 4 sites. Of that, $4.125 million targets PFAS contamination from aqueous film-forming foam, AFFF. The companies may prepay amounts at an 8% discount rate, and payments will be credited against their PFAS escrow obligations. Long-term remediation and financial backstops. DuPont, Chemours, and Corteva will continue remediation at the following sites: Chambers Works, Salem County; Parlin, Middlesex County. DuPont is the primary responsible party. Pompton Lakes, Passaic County; Rapano, Gloucester County. Each site must maintain a remedial funding source, RFS, backed by a surety bond or trust to guarantee future remediation. These RFS instruments will undergo a binding third-party review to ensure sufficiency. Additionally, a $475 million reserve fund will be established to protect taxpayers if any party defaults or declares bankruptcy. This is in addition to an estimated $1.2 billion in site-specific RFSs, bringing total secured remediation funds to $1.675 billion. Industrial legacy of the contaminated sites. The affected sites reflect New Jersey's industrial past, with operations dating back to the late 1800s. Chambers Works, originally a DuPont explosives and dyes facility, later used PFAS in the 1950s. Now one of the state's most contaminated sites, with VOCs, PCBs, and PFAS. Active since 1904, chemical production led to PFAS contamination across water, air, and sediment. Pompton Lakes manufactured blasting caps and explosives, polluted with mercury, lead, TCE, and PFAS. Rapano, early DuPont R&D site, unlined landfills and tar pits caused extensive contamination of wetlands and biota. Health risks of PFAS. PFAS are synthetic chemicals used in products ranging from firefighting foam to nonstick cookware. They do not break down in the environment and have been linked to kidney, liver, and testicular cancers, autoimmune and endocrine disorders, developmental harm to fetuses and infants. New Jersey was the first U.S. state to establish enforceable drinking water standards for PFAS, and state testing has identified widespread contamination. Implications for environmental contractors and ESG stakeholders. This settlement signals significant long-term opportunities for companies in PFAS water and soil remediation, hazardous waste management, RFS and financial assurance structuring, Natural resource damage, NRD valuation and restoration. Firms specializing in ion exchange, granular activated carbon, site investigation, and ESG risk analysis should prepare for multi-year project scopes and public contract opportunities. This resolution embodies the steadfast commitment of the DEP and our Attorney General to hold all PFAS polluters to account and to protect public health, said Latourette. Next steps. DuPont and Corteva will pay $150 million to Chemours in exchange for future rights to PFAS-related insurance recoveries. Once reimbursed, Chemours will regain a 50% share of future proceeds. The proposed settlement will be published in the New Jersey Register for public comment before final approval by the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey. The 3M settlement, valued up to $450 million, was posted for comment in July 2025. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites from E+E Leader. Thanks for being a loyal listener. To inquire about brand partnership opportunities, reach out to a member of our team today.